So, I don't know how to start this video without sounding like anybody else. So I'm just gonna cut to the point. We seriously need to talk, okay? Not about me, not about anybody else. Well, anybody specifically. We just gotta talk about this as a whole, okay? I've been looking forward to making this stream for a few months. And as much as I put minimal planning into this, at least it looks like it. There is a reason why I'm doing this in the first place. And the reason I am in VR is because I don't have the heart to show who I am in real life. At least right now. You're only going to see my movements. And over here, I have an entire list of things that we need to talk about. Seriously, alright? Don't get me wrong, whatever I do, whatever kind of movements I do, especially in VR, it's going to be cringe. Alright? But what I'm trying to make a point here, what I'm trying to do here is, I'm trying to make a point, okay? To start, there will be no editing involved in this, okay? No matter what happens, no matter how serious I get, and there will be no dramatization. It's ironic to say that right now, but the issue that a lot of people have is when they do talk about stuff like this, they dramatize it a lot, and that can be a very huge issue when getting the point across. And also, I will not be able to see how many people are watching this video, because that seems to be a very huge distraction for me. I don't care how many people are watching, but over there, I do see your comments. Don't think jack shit about the duration of this video, even though it's going to be a while. This video will show how my mind really is in real life, okay? I don't really know how else to show it. And to be honest, I am shaking a little bit from it. Because, I understand how serious I'm about to get, okay? I'm 100% aware this seems like a form of attention, and no shit, this is how I am. And if I'm going to be honest in this video, it is, in some way. And it's not only for the sake of attention. It's for the sake of finally bringing a point to even some people in this world that we just are tired of the same cycle. We're tired of having the same things to do every single day. We're just not satisfied. But you know what? That's fine because we're human, okay? We're fucking human, and we're always gonna have desire in some form. And I think I've already mentioned how long I've been planning this video out for. It's been a few months. Sometimes the idea of it has crossed my mind, but most of the time I thought to myself, if I put more effort into this video, is that really going to show? What's that going to show? Why should I put in more dedication into this video? As in saying that I put more time into thinking how things are going to look, how everything's going to be black and white, how like how um how I'm going to get the point across. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a psychologist, but I do contemplate 90% of my life, okay? What you're listening to right now is probably the deepest thing I'll ever do. And listen, I don't care. I don't care how happy you are, how sad you are, and everybody in the stream right now is equal because I feel like everybody in the stream can agree that that we're just not happy with where we are. And I'm not saying that we will ever be happy because we will never be happy. What I'm trying to say is this sort of living where we are right now, it it's just it's not okay. And you know what? It's our own fault. It's our own fault, even my fault, to be honest. But what I'm trying to say here is things need to be changed. And that's as best as I can say it. And I'm really sorry if I ever cry in the stream because not gonna lie, I am sensitive. And that's an understatement. So there's a line between seriousness and cringe, and I can tell at right now that um that I'm on the cringeworthy side. I mean, I'm trying to be as serious as possible here, and I'm trying to make it so that people not only listen to me, but to what others have to say. The reason this is more improvised rather than having me plan this out all the time, well, I've already mentioned, and that's probably why I seem to be a little bit cringeworthy right now. And okay, I'm going to clear this up right now. Seriousness is not the same thing as sadness. So if you think that the only reason I'm here is to vent, that is far from it, okay? And that's why I thought people would be very hesitant about spreading the word about this video. So again, I don't see how many people are watching this video. I'm completely refusing myself from it because it can be a distraction. Arctic, I think you should just keep watching the video for you to understand. Well, stream. So, I am more than what you see. This is a Launchpad channel, of course. I know. It's probably very unfitting. But in reality, I contemplate almost 90% of my life about my actions, if not more. Thinking how I could change how my day goes, changing how um changing the things I do. Just yeah, and I'm sorry if there's noise in the background. This really isn't the best place to do it, but you know, this is also one of those things that I have to deal with. I'm not normal because nobody is normal. You and I know that there's no such thing as normal. There's no such thing as being the best in life, and there's no such thing as being the worst in life because it just gets too confusing if you think about it from that point on. If it's too confusing, then of course, um, there's it's just a way to say there's no way to put it into facts. Nobody is normal. The point of proving direct points about life itself is like this one is to prevent any bias or any sign of stubbornness in a way, you know? Exactly, you can't define being normal. So, now that we got all that out of the way, I think the place that we need to start is the past. Okay? I want to talk about I want to talk about the time that I've started growing depression. And of course, there's no direct point as to when it has started, when depression has started, but I could at least give an estimate. I don't know if I was truly depressed, all right, but I do know from my memory that it wasn't the best time for me. Well, I didn't realize that the straight edge was still on. Fifth grade? About 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, somewhere around that time. Depression doesn't just appear, it's. Do you just notice it's there? Well, as we all know, depression is an illness, a very serious one, in fact. Just imagine this: you're in a crowd, okay? Or at least you're just you're just like walking through the city or something, and this okay, I'm sorry. Let's just say this was a bad example. What I'm trying to say is let's say that you picked a crowd randomly out of anywhere or in the United States. All right? And you had about 13, 12 people. At least one person in there out of this entire crowd would be depressed. Okay? I know I say okay too much. And I'm sorry if it's a little too far, but okay. I'm talking about the distance between my camera um and whatever I'm doing. So I'm not proud to be part of this crowd. I don't think anybody ever chose to be part of this crowd. But you know what? Since nobody ever found a cure for it, since nobody knows how the hell there is at least one way to feel happy, because, well, um, you can't force yourself to be happy. You can't force yourself to be sad. There's only treatments, and they don't work 100% of the time. Do you want 999%? I think not. Perhaps you do, but if you think about it, if you had 1% left, okay, if that 1% over there did not work and it only led to more complications, would you really take that chance? Again, maybe. But for me, I think that 100% is better than 99%. And it's probably impossible because there's no way to change how you feel. We haven't we haven't studied the human brain enough to figure out how to artificially change our emotions. And I'm going to say one more thing. I know that there's a crowd of people in this world that say they have depression when they don't. And you know what? That can piss me off. That can piss people off from all around. And you might just be obliged to say to just go off at them. But you know what? Being being that you're influencing yourself to have depression is still an issue. I'm not saying it's as serious, but we need to bring the point across. Because the things we do is unremarkable, man. We can we try so hard to manipulate ourselves into feeling happy. But the truth is, don't tell me how many people are watching, please, because that kind of puts me off. Okay, what I'm trying to say is we're not happy with where we are right now, right? Look at us. I mean, I'm going to put it this way. Every night, I don't know how else to say this, but I am depressed. Okay? I wouldn't okay, uh maybe not depressed. What I'm trying to say is every night, almost every night, I shed at least one tear. thinking about either my past, my future, or the present. And okay, lonely at night, yes. And sometimes that's the reason that I do these streams. Everybody has their way of coping, but that's the issue. We need to stop coping. We need to stop suffering, and we need to find ways, okay? We need to find ways to get out of this cycle. Yes, yes. Being with friends is absolutely helpful, but not in every case. But the reason being, humans, by definition, are social animals. We need other people to survive. There's a reason why we are trying to ban um well, not asylums. Which what's the right word? Well, you know, those little cubicles where they lock people up. Do you understand why that was made in the first place? Just being just being alone in this one tiny space. And you try doing whatever you can. You try doing whatever you can in this little isolated area to at least keep learning because that's how your mind is. So I'm going to say right now that it's your fault. It's your fucking fault. It's my fucking fault. It's everybody's fault for having this. And you know why I say this? People use happy thoughts as a way of coping. But facts are different. No matter how happy they seem, no matter how upsetting they seem, they're still facts. And that's the way that we learn. If we hear from one person that you're too much of an attention whore, you're too much of an attention whore. You can't deny it. There are ways to say that they're wrong. But sometimes you yourself know that those are facts and you can't change it. And you know what? That makes you self-upset. That does not make you depressed. That makes you upset. Because usually in depression, you have no reason. It just comes out of nowhere because well, I'm really sorry. Sometimes I'm going to forget about what I say in the stream because I have so much going in and out of my life right now. It's no. What I'm trying to say is you yourself, okay, if you yourself know, if facts are brought to you that you're an attention whore, okay? People can just tell you. Um people can give an opinion. And truth be told, you don't know what's going on in their life. But you yourself know how you act. So if somebody tells you that you're an attention whore, and they even have reasons, and if you have your own reasons, you need to change. Sometimes you try to say that sounds more like an opinion as a way to cope. And a lot of reasons why and that's the reason why most teens today are depressed. Because they usually blame others for their problems more than themselves. And I've heard this once, and I've thought about it for a while, we just we don't know the balance between ourselves and other people around us. The thoughts that we have, okay? The blame that we put on everybody is not balanced enough. Sometimes we can self deprecate ourselves. Some people, like me, can self deprecate themselves. And that is an example of putting too much pressure on yourself. But then again, you need to understand sometimes that other people are at fault as well. And you know what? I'm not going to say stop feeling upset about it. Be strong. That's completely the opposite of what I want to say. Just just be yourself. And I know that sounds cringe, but there's a reason everybody is saying it. Do you really want to mask? Do you really want to mask how you act, what kind of things you do, just however you act? That's the reason that you're being held back from the things you want to do. You're being that type of person that thinks some things should not happen. And you know what? That's true. Not everything you do um is rational. But I don't even need to tell you this because you understand yourself what you should do and what you should not do. And should you do it right away? Absolutely not. If you feel demotivated to do so, don't do it. If you feel that there's something that's um that's blocking you from it, even though you want to do it desperately, then by all means, get that obstacle away. But then again, if you don't have the motivation to do it, don't do it right now. You have all the time in the world. I'm going against what people say about how you only have so much to live in this world until you're dead. But honestly, I think everybody can agree that either time is kind of going slow, and the actions that we do um can be done by then. Do you see how people are out there working, having a family, having whatever, just living their life? The reason they do that, the reason they got to that part of their life is because of what I'm saying. So I'm just saying right now, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of confusing again. I'm trying to be uh I'm trying to make sense as much as possible, but we have to change. I'm 15 years old and I live in this cramped room in a family that has so many problems, and there is never going to be a time in my life where I can say, "Hey, I have no problems with with my family." But my strategy is to try and get as close to 100% as possible. It will never be 100%. It would only be about 99.99%, probably not even closer because um it's just not done. It's just not possible because you can never get that close. Again, I know I sound stupid. I know what I'm trying to explain here makes no sense. But The only reason is because I'm not like you. I'm probably not able to change everybody's opinion in this world, not even people who are watching, because you guys have dealt with your life differently. But we all have the same issue. We all have the same problem where we have never buckled down and actually got to the things we wanted to do. So I'm going to say it's your fault. You can be the worst person in the world. Actually, no, you can't. You can't. But you can do a lot of bad things in this world. You can be everybody's greatest enemy. You could just have no friends whatsoever. You could have no reason to live. But my philosophy is, and I hope I'm right, that whatever point you're in your life, you can change at least one thing, and that's gonna change almost almost your entire day. It's I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say it's going to be okay in the end. But if you solely dedicate yourself into having a happy end, and if you're just smart enough to abide by the things that you know are true and and distinguishing which ones are false, then you have a very high probability of, well, reaching that point in your life that you want. If you care enough to watch this, go ahead. But let me just say, we're gonna get even more serious now. Suicide is not an option is a bullshit quote. It's outdated, and it is a choice. It just is. Obviously, it's a choice. Obviously, people have a different thing they want to say when they say it's not an option. But if you think about it, you're just like any other thing in life. You have a choice, but choices can be regrettable. Choices, some choices cannot be undone, and sometimes it's just not always the right option. But I'm saying it's not always. But I'm not saying it's. I'm saying it's not always an option. I'm trying to say that The only reason you're suicidal is because you're not happy with where you are in life. Nor do I think you ever will be if you keep whining. But if you so choose, and this is completely up to you, to get out of this same cycle that you've been in your entire life, then by all means, it's a choice. It's not going to be easy. Nobody ever told you in life that it was going to be easy. But you should know yourself that the reason that people are successful is because they put in strength. Over my past few years of contemplation, I kind of thought to myself about what I could change, how I could live my life. How I can even impact the world, because I want to be that person. I want to be that attention whore. And I am 100% honest. And you guys got me. One of the reasons why I started this stream was for attention. But that's not the only thing that I want to talk. That's not the only thing motivating me to start this. The worst part is, I get so serious that people don't even want to talk to me. People just think that's their way, that's the right way to go away from everything in life. Well, that's how they want to live. They just think sliding away from things is the right choice. Sometimes it is, because sometimes you can't help the people you want to help. How are you an attention whore? Because I want to be heard. I am somebody's idol one day, and the next day I could just be garbage. That's kind of the thing that's gone on with my channel. I used to be the top of the line. I don't know how to say this, but I did get at least one person saying, or at least motivating me to just keep going, to just keep doing what I'm doing, just because they like the kind of content I put out. But now that I don't have the motivation, it's come to an abrupt stop. And I'm one of those people that are just laying in my bed, hugging a pillow, and then just falling asleep every night. I'm one of those people that already have a scar on my hand because mental mental issues are the cause of physical issues sometimes. And it's not a big one, because halfway I realized, what's the point of this? Why do I have to make things worse for myself? Is this really what I want to do? And honestly, I can name at least 10 ways I can kill myself right in front of the stream, but I don't do it. I only have it I only have those kinds of ways to kill myself and to, you know about it. I mean, sorry. What I'm trying to say is it's been 40 minutes. What I'm trying to say is I know the ways that I can kill myself. And I can tell you right now, I think about at least one per day, maybe two. Well, that was a bad two, but you get it. But I don't do it for the reason of being depressed all the time. I tried to change that depression into a motivation to say, this is wrong. This is not what you should be doing. And there are many other ways that you can spend your life than to just end it in this way. And sometimes it's not only for the sake of other people, it's for myself. Because I know that some people don't kill themselves because of other people. And and they think it's cruel sometimes because they're stuck with other people having to having to keep them alive. And sometimes they can be mad at those people. And you know what? I've been one of those people. I've been one of those people that said, I wish that um I wish that I didn't have a family, that I didn't have a reason to stay alive, and just move on to the next chance that I have. Whether it be back in this world or just just not existing. Depression is a motivator, but it's not okay. It is not a lifestyle. It's not it's not meant to be a lifestyle, to phrase it better. It's just an illness. The only person that benefits from it that's you can't even say. I mean, of course, there can be people that can use it to their advantage. But why worry about those people? You got your own self. You got the choice to change how your life goes, how how you want to live. And that's why I say sometimes it's your fault because sometimes you're just not doing it. You're at a stall, you're lazy, you're bitchy. You're sticking to one part because you're afraid of change, even though you know yourself that you have to. We're all bitchy. Needless to say. But I'm not telling you get up right now. I'm not telling you just change everything right away in life. Because, you know what? You can't do it. You don't have the ideas. You can't just change how your mind is. You just have to wait it out. That's why I said you have all the time in the world for you to change those things. As long as you know yourself that you need to change, then by all means, you'll get to it at some point in your life, whether you like it or not. That's already happened to me. You're gonna say that the lifestyle you're living right now is unacceptable, and then one day you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, hey, today's the day I make a change without even realizing. So what I'm trying to get here is get out of here is just be you. And if you know yourself that you need to change, we need to make a change in this world, then you're on the right path. And it's not going to go away on its own. Depression will never go away on its own. I think all of us can agree on that. It's only up to you at this point if you want to keep living the same life that you have, or if you want to get to where you actually are in life. Me myself, I feel like my purpose is to help people, even though no matter how many words I say, no matter how many actions I do, I won't change it. But I do it anyways. And I think everybody else has a purpose, you know? That's why I'm saying, if you know your purpose is doing the things you haven't gotten to yet, then by all means, the sooner the better, of course. But if you just can't do it right now, just stop forcing yourself. I want to say one last thing. Well, not to say that's the last thing I'm going to say. And before I do so, I need to take this off for one moment. So that I just check why I'm getting so many notifications right now because my phone is going off like an AK-47, and I'm still not allowed to see what's going on right now. Some people already think that I'm killing myself, and that's no, man, I'm not. This is the issue. Because when you mention suicide, it just changes everybody right away. I mean, that's not the right word. It just makes everybody upset. I'm just being serious. Exactly. I'm trying to say stuff that people haven't said before, even though I sound like a broken record. But at least a reminder would be necessary at the moment. So, I'm not gonna mention who, but I am getting notifications about it. So, this is the things we have to deal with in life: seriousness, heartbreak, anger, being the only one, being in others' place, complexity, you are somebody's idol, the next day you're just garbage, how your mind works, and why you don't think about things, trying to hide, getting so serious that people won't talk to you, getting so serious that people take you even more serious than you're trying to be, trying to help people, trying to hurt people's lives, discrimination, bias, selfishness, loneliness, friends, sex, fake friends, saying, please leave me alone all the time, even though you want people to talk to you. Nobody cares. Be in someone else's place, or they want to be in your place. Crisis, your purpose, the world, progress, being the best by handling the worst, knowing that everything has an end, death, how the universe works, thinking it'll be okay in the end, even though sometimes it's not. And being honest. Those are just enduring issues. They can either be a good impact or a bad impact. Because the issue here is, I'm just going to show you this right now. I have an entire list here. The issue is, people kind of mix these words up a lot. Selfishness is an outdated phrase. Because sometimes, well, first of all, let's get to the definition of what selfishness is, Because, well, the way people know it now is to think about yourself more than other people. But then again, doesn't that mean uh well, yes, that as well, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to say more just other words, Like I said, like selfishness, because sometimes you have to reflect on yourself more than other people. And another thing I should get at is, I'm pretty sure all of you have been that kind of person that would say, I'm lonely. Leave me alone. I don't deserve anything. I don't want anybody to help me. I just want to be by myself. And then everything you said was a lie. Because I myself, no shit, I was one of those people. I was one of those people that was an attention whore, and this is what I'm trying to get at. Attention whores are people who are trying to seek attention in a manipulative way. Because you know that, because the response you're expecting is, people go against what you say, so that's your way of coping. You think that people are going to go into your DMs, or they're going to come up to you and ask, hey, what is wrong? Why are you feeling this way? And that's the answer that you always wanted. But in my opinion, being manipulative this way is the reason that a lot of things in your life go wrong. So, I want to say, you're at fault for faking sometimes. You're at fault for a lot of things. A lot of things that you're not even proud of. You didn't even mean. Sometimes you are proud of them, and you still think it's an okay thing to do. Sometimes you won't even know. But you have to accept it. Rather than trying to change it, you have to accept it. You have to cope. Sometimes, sometimes you gotta understand what you need to cope with and what you need to change. Coping is only when you either when you cannot change something and or you just feel that it's not beneficial, but doing it is, well, doing it is when you know that it's possible no matter what, or you know that it just benefits you. And well, it could be both, but it still needs to be in some way um possible. So look, I wasn't expecting the stream to have a main topic. What I'm trying to get at here is, in a nutshell, we have to do something about it. This label represents myself. It's going clockwise for a reason. Because that means you have to keep moving forward. Stop living in the past. Everything fucking changes. Everything. Can't change it. I mean, yes, you can, but you can't change the fact that things will change. And something unexpected will happen in your life and you won't even know. Now, I feel like the best thing to do now is I know my controller's over there, but the best thing to do now is to mention a few important things I have said in my log, because if you guys haven't followed up already, I can say I have a log where I literally write down any kind of thoughts I have. So those are the purest. You guys don't see it, but I'm going to explain it. So one of them goes like this. Yes, you are thinking about yourself. You are thinking about yourself negatively. You are thinking about yourself to the point where you feel your mere existence was pointless from the start. You're thinking that things would be better if the finding of the lethal gun had happened. You're thinking that maybe, just maybe, the whole world would find a mere substitute that would be better than you in every aspect. But you never subject to those actions. For the reason that you are still sane enough to know that all your thoughts are false. It's a hard thought to swap back and forth about. Um, especially when you have rights and wrongs about both ideas. But that's all the fun of making good and bad memories, uh, and moments. You aren't gonna go anywhere with your thoughts, though. The atoms inside your brain will stay there all your life until someone bashes your skull open. The only way you can communicate understandably with the outside world is using your voice. Not only that, your actions. And it's funny to think you always have the ability to just kill yourself. It's not free will, though, it's ability. Because if you have the balls to throw yourself off a cliff, it's going to do more than kill you. And that's what's keeping you going. Sickening to think the only reason you are alive is because of others, and you'd be mad to know you have those people. But people say to suck it up. Is that really what we should do? Is that really what we can do? Why do you think I'm still here? I barely sucked anything up. I've just constantly tried to change. But the universe doesn't stop or help your ability. It's just the complexity of how things work in this existence. You aren't going to be satisfied with everything you do because you aren't connected to the universe. And yet, with all these facts in mind, you go another day, not by struggling, not by crying, just letting time do its thing and having you go with it. Counting down the minutes you're finally gone, even though that's a long way ahead of you. But that's the reason nothing has changed. I'm still contemplating how I get these sudden motivations to actually change myself when I think all is hopeless. But in order to do that, I need to go through thousands of articles to understand rather than stalling. It's no use talking here, but I do it anyways. It's the same day I live, but it changes a little each day, only because my mind contemplates. The sad fact is, I can't be unique, because everybody has taken the role of the same or similar path, and I bother to research on those experiences when the answers are right at my fingertips. I remember someone saying there isn't a single thing you're doing or saying that someone else hasn't done in the past. But for some reason, I feel that acknowledging that fact separates me from everyone else, making me a lunatic. When's the time to flourish? Has it passed already? Is it now? Do I have to wait 10 more years? What am I going to make out of this blatant thought? No, really. If I can't ever hold a motive for some ability in my life for a long time, how can I continue what I wanted to do? Me speaking right now is the exact reason why nothing changes. And the irony in that is, the more I think about it, the more I'm surrendering myself to that fact. And what am I trying to make a point out of here? You guessed it, absolutely nothing. Because all I'm doing is logging down my thoughts for as long as I can. And trust me, I would very much like things to change right now. And I'm sure all of you guys have the same mindset. That's not even the deepest thing I've ever said. You know, you can't change the fact that things will change. I I might do that later. And I should mention one part about how I call myself sensitive. So, let me give you guys an example. As you all know, I don't like being alone at all, and you'll understand why I said that in a sec, but let me get to this point. I went to this place called the One World Observatory, expected to have fun, and I did a lot. We had drinks in the end at the bar. I, on the other hand, had non-alcoholic Shirley Temples, and I was having a great time along with the rest of them. I'm sorry, with my family, I should have mentioned that. However, I decided that since I'm done with my drink and I felt real fearful from being up there, that I was going to leave the observatory early, and I told my parents I was going to leave, waiting so that we can go to the restaurant we planned to eat at. That was a really bad choice. I didn't even realize that my phone was dying so quickly, so I didn't have any entertainment to keep me company. And I wasn't able to come back up there. I thought my parents would just pay the check and go downstairs right away, 5 minute stops. So I waited 5 minutes and nothing happened. I called my sis, who was up there as well, and said, "We're staying up there for another 20 minutes." Fuck. My camera was also dying too, so I couldn't pass the time by taking photos. They tell me to walk around until they get down, but I was too tired to. I did in the end, though, so I waited another 20 minutes. No one is at the exit. What the fuck is going on? Called again and they said another 15, 20 minutes, because they were having fun up there. Ouch. Actually, ouch, because I was infuriated. Started shouting at my sis over the phone, saying that I thought they would get down in an instant, but they made me wait, and then I was accused for showing my anger. But at that point, I knew I just couldn't do anything. So at that point, my phone died. No entertainment, nobody to talk to. No money to buy food. No power in my camera to take photos. I was only in the middle of the city starving because we were planning to get food later. I thought I'd shrug it off after 5 minutes, but the entire time I walked around, I was infuriated because I was left with my own drowning thoughts. Well, after that, I start heading back, and as soon as I see them, I put my arms out, shrugging as a signal to say, "Finally, you're out of there." Afterwards, I I couldn't even speak. I felt my anger turn into sadness so damn fast. It's not understandable unless you were actually in my position. And my parents started to make jokes about how I waited so long because they were half drunk. I usually laugh when they do, because theirs is contagious. But all I could do was keep a sad face and try to look away to hold myself, because I knew the worst thing I could do was cry in the middle of the city when 30 people are rushing by me per minute. Then shit goes downhill. Tears flowing down my cheeks as I try to hold my breath, hiding myself under my own jacket, feeling like I was back at home in my pillow where everything I did was pointless. And they all saw me as they finally began to realize how much it hurt, and I still cried. I didn't even think I cried enough, to be honest. We all went out to a sushi restaurant to make me feel better, but I was crying the entire time we were walking there. But that doesn't change the fact that I want to cry for knowing that happened, because I knew that it was my fault for stepping out of the building. My sister thought I was just going back to the observatory, but I really meant that I was going to wait outside for the restaurant. Therefore, all of it was a huge misunderstanding. Like, come on, do you not realize how painful it is for you to leave your family and then miss out on all the fun? 40 minutes of just being outside all by yourself, knowing that everyone else has a thing to do, and you're just there, passing the time until your family can get over their good times. They didn't even know it would affect me that much, and I'll be honest, I'm not mad at them. I'm just really depressed that this whole incident happened. I can't even go to sleep now because I'm thinking about this. Nah, not only that, I just really want to talk to him even for 5 minutes so I can feel better. That's an excerpt. So that's why I said that in the end. So that's how sensitive I am. And I know you guys have an issue yourself in your life that is this bad. The worst part is, some people think it's okay to be toxic. And okay, it is, but they use that as an excuse. So they say you are extremely. One person says you are extremely toxic. Just look at your post history. This is on Reddit, by the way. You may not say stuff in front of others in real life because you don't have animosity to hide behind, but that's still how you think. And then he says toxic is subjective though. It gives me pleasure and happiness to be mean to people on the internet. Why should I stop? Obviously, I'm not hostile to people in real life because I know it will hurt people's reputations. And then he said, I guess you're just a narcissist if you think that way. And the other guy said, humans are narcissistic by default, and society attempts to remove that trait. I'm just less of a victim of society than you. The guy said, no, we aren't, but you being narcissistic makes you think like that. Being a narcissist is probably why you feel lonely too. And the guy says, lol, yes, we are. Why do you think the terrible twos are a thing, and children are disciplined out of them? Children were consistently generous only when the recipient was fully aware of the donation options. Oh, this was a story. Um, but oh, my camera. Hold on. Oh, don't tell me I have to. All right, whatever. So yeah, if we already have this much going on in this world, Easy as that. Not saying change now, but you better plan some time in your life. Change. Just change, alright? Just change. Just change. You can do it. I can do it. It's possible. After everything I said, it's possible. We have to stop stalling. Just gonna say right now. And I know that's kind of hypocritical to say, but I mean, sorry. Um, that's kind of odd to say, especially after everything I said about not changing right now. But I'm just saying, at some point, if we don't do this together, and I don't care how many people are on the stream, if we don't do this together, we can't function as a society. Everybody's going to be dropping like flies. Everybody's going to be like this in the future. Is that really how you want it to be? All the time? Just being right at that same place you are in your life. Do you know why you're in that place? It's because no actions have been done. And it's not only you, it's other people in your life. That's why I'm saying we need to spread the word. That's the reason why I asked for you guys to bring more attention to the stream. Not only for attention. Yes, I will admit 100%. It is. It can be a source. It can be a form of attention. But the only reason I can think of for having that attention is to show this world we got to work together again. Everybody's just split up. Everybody's just in the same point in their life as always, and they think it's okay to deal with it. They think it's okay to have depression. They think it's okay that even if they're in this point in their life, that they're going to change anyways. That's not the mindset you should have. You should know from the start that you're gonna change, but you should never use it as an excuse. You should just have it as knowledge. If this is the most confusing thing I've ever said, please tell me, because I will be more than welcome to reiterate what I'm trying to say. I know I'm just a launch padding channel. I know that all this seems very unnecessary and seems like some other person in this world can do that. And you know what? Maybe somebody else is doing the exact same thing in this world and I have no knowledge of it. Perhaps changed up a little bit. It's changed up a little bit. But I still need to be part of the crowd. I still need to tell you guys, and as a reminder to myself as well, that we're not happy with how we are right now. And this is probably going to be the reason of our downfall if we don't do anything. So I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to leave the stream up for a week, hoping, just hoping, that it's going to get more attention. Because it needs it. It absolutely needs it. Not only about what I say. I don't know how far this will go. I'm not a mind reader. I don't predict the future. I don't have any powers whatsoever. All I am doing is just putting a message across. But it's just really, it's not up to me anymore where this goes. The way I want it to go is people finally are aware of the things I want to say because I want to be heard, just like any other human being. I want to socialize, I want to change, and it's not only me. Like I said, 1 in 11 people you meet every day have depression. So just reminding you one last time. Do you want that number to change? Do you want that number to stay the same all the time? Do you want me to keep worrying about this crap all the time? This over here? Worrying, having to keep making changes, having to give the same message out all the time? I don't know how much of an effect this will have. Especially because I've never been diagnosed because I personally do not think I should go to a therapist, but that's still a choice. If therapy is what you think will be the reason that you will feel better, by all means, go ahead. It's your life. But if it's not, it's your life. You could say that for both parts. But you know yourself what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. You know yourself that if you want to get to some place, you have to do something about it. And I'm doing as much effort as I can. I don't even know how many people are on the stream. I don't even care how many people are watching anymore. It's up to them. It's up to them whether or not they want to do something with this information. And if they want to spread the word, if they think that's their job in this world, that they need to spread the word in some way, then by all means, they got to do it. Because they're the person that are there to make change. I can't do this alone. We need to make a change. I am tired of trying to bring a message across and having only the same people listen to me. And I don't expect everybody to agree with me. And knowing that fact is, in my opinion, the best thing to do. Because then you know that there are opinions in this world. But if other people themselves think it's right to spread such a message across themselves, and they think that no matter what, if those people don't even join the stream, they still think it's going to make a change. So if you think what I say now makes a change, by all means, either spread this video when it is uploaded, or just do nothing. I want to help people in this world. But now I realize it's not possible when I'm the only one doing it. That's why I say we need to make a change. And if nobody gives a fuck, that's just the way to say that the only reason I have left to live is a waste. Okay, perhaps that was a way to grasp attention, but that is one of the reasons why I'm still alive. As sensitive as I am, I'm still trying to make a change. Sensitivity does not affect how I try to change things. I mean, in some way, yes, but it doesn't mean that I don't do it. It's not easy. Who has ever told you that it was easy? I don't care if it's not easy. It's choice. Nobody ever said it was easy. Nobody ever said it was hard. But you still need to do it. The more effort you put in, that you truly put in, the more it will, you know, do nothing. Trying to say that it's our fault. No, they're not. They're not already doing it. That's the issue. Perhaps they are, because sooner or later they will realize it is the bad choice. But at the same time, we're not doing it fast enough. Because some people have to cope with things they want to change. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, let's say, for example, my place right now. I used to think, well, I'm thinking that I want a job, right? I'm trying I'm trying to get I'm not even trying to get myself a job, even though I know for a fact that it's something I have to work on. I have to get to um I have to get to at least making, resumes and stuff, but I don't do it. I don't I haven't even started. So it's not you can't say that they're already doing it, because if they were, then um then people already know of it. Cuz exactly. Actually, no, a lot of people no, that's why I'm trying to say we are at fault, because we don't we don't do the things we want to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're just stalling only because it's one person that's changing it. Like me, look at me over here. I'm trying to run a stream, or at least a video, trying to say that we need to make a change. And it's not doing too well. But the only reason is because It can't be done with one person. Some, if not most of your actions can only be done when another person helps you. You've done your part, now you need other people to do their part. The hard part is understanding what you need to know, what you need to do on your own, and what other people have to do themselves. Look, I'm not really getting anywhere with the stream, but um, I think you all understand that if I'm making this video, something's not right with this world. Because there are so many people who are depressed, are living the same life over and over again, or at least say so. And that's an issue. I myself have to deal with the same life I live, even though I want things to change. And I try to get to them, but sometimes it's my fault for not getting to them. So that's the reason why you guys are stalling as well. You guys aren't even aware that you need to change. I know. That's 100% true. And knowing that fact makes you a smarter person. However, people can still agree, or at least I hope, the people who are at least conscious about how much this affects how we act now. That's why you don't do it right away. You have to understand. Understanding is not the same thing as doing, because you need to understand that at some point you're going to have to do it. But you don't force yourself, right? You don't force yourself, because that's probably the exact reason why nothing changes. But if you think that trying to stay away from that objective, or at least having something to cope with it, is the only thing you can do, it's not. Because it seems like people like me, like I said, I'm trying to cope with how I am right now by um by just laying in bed and um just hugging my pillow, because I don't have anybody to hug. I know that's quite a ridiculous example, but there's a reason why it's like that. It's because I just don't have friends in real life who are at least those type of people that would. Sometimes it's not only your fault. Sometimes it's just those people. Those people have got to be there. What do you think? 8 billion people in this world? Probably at least 1,000 people in your neighborhood. There's got to be at least one who you could at least hug with that person. Do whatever you wanted, at least socially, and you're not even aware of it. So like, you know yourself when there are things that you gotta change, that you can change, or at least things that are your fault, and things that you have to that only you are able to do. Let's say that, you know, okay, I'm not talking relationships. I'm not talking about personal, like cuddling and whatever. That's a whole different story. What I'm trying to s- what um what I'm trying to get at is people like physical contact. People who like physical contact would be okay with it, and the people who don't just don't. It just depends on your relation with them. But this is just merely an example because I'm trying to say that if this were to be your fault, you yourself need to step out and you need to find those people, and you're not even going to be aware of doing so, but you will at some point. And that's how things are going to change. But make sure that it doesn't get to the point where you're not doing it. I don't know if that makes sense. But I'm just saying, stop stalling. When? I never said. I never said when, because that's up to you to decide. What I'm trying to say, get at here is this world is a mind fuck. So if you guys want this world to be a mind fuck, you better be part of it. You better be a part of changing something, because I can't do it alone. Maybe spreading this video is not the best thing, but I still want to make a change. Not only me. There are so many other people who want to make a change, but they just don't know how. So they keep trying. They keep trying to get new ideas. Hence this. Hence the log that I have. Hence anything I do. There's still just ways to try and attempt to make a change. I don't know how else to say this. And we keep trying until we find something that works. No. It is not simpler to change oneself, because that's called coping. That's this is the exact mindset that the world has, that I think that um, is the cause of a lot of issues, because they think it's okay to change oneself, so they isolate their thoughts. They think that nobody else cares about it, or at least they won't agree in the same mindset. But that doesn't mean that everybody that you meet will not have the same mindset. Somebody will agree with you, and somebody could convert that kind of thought to another person who might not agree with me, and they might also change. And it could also be spread. I do not know. But this is a possibility. Unfortunately, it's not it's not the easiest thing to do, and in fact, it's gonna have a 0.00000 infinite 0.01% chance of happening. But I just don't think it's impossible. I just feel like at some point this world is gonna start realizing we need to make a change. Maybe not everybody thinks that we need to make a change because their life is fine. But like I said, 1 out of 11 people in the United States, at least, would agree. Because they have to deal with the same issues as probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 people here. How do you expect to change a combination of 8 billion minds while not being able to reevaluate the mind of a single human oneself? because sometimes you don't think about your own you don't have you don't think about your own ideas sometimes. You sometimes subject to other people's opinions because, well, you just feel like the ones you have right now are not the same. But I just feel like for once we need to pretend that doesn't that idea does not exist. That that changing things will not work because that's the thing. That's the exact reason why we are being held back. That's the motivation, demotivation. That's the thing holding us back. I know I sound like a broken record. And even saying that makes me sound like a broken record. But if I could at least change one person's life, if I could at least prove a point to everybody here, that's what would make me happy as well, you know? Living the same life's not easy. Who says you already didn't? I mean, when I say changing somebody's life, I don't mean just changing one day. I mean completely revolutionizing their day. Well, their life. I can't completely change how they are, but there's just some people in this world that need this advice, you know? And those people know themselves who they are, if they agree with it. I don't see anything holding you back right now. You're able to spread your ideas on the internet. You got people that listen to your opinions. What is holding you back at the moment? People who do not agree with them. People like you, sometimes. Well, you didn't agree with everything I said, but those opinions are just sometimes um look, I don't want to sound like I'm stubborn, and I am open to other people's opinions. The thing that is holding me back at the moment is because, well, I don't know if you guys see yourself, but if you look at the if you look at the amount of people that are on the internet, um, I mean, that are on the stream, you can tell that not a lot of people are open to my opinions because they have better things to do in their life. If you'll excuse me for a moment. All right. So I think now's a good time to get off. I don't know how much of an effect this stream has made, and it's probably made a very bad one or a good one. But if I at least get somebody to change in here, that's all I want. Because Exactly. They don't know I exist. And I'm not expecting to be the most popular person in the world. Have I said that exactly. How are you going to get yourself bigger? It's not possible to do it alone. Again, humans are social animals by definition. So it's pretty much not doable. The only thing I could do is do something and then see where it takes off from there. Hence what I'm doing now. I can only do actions. I can't make impacts, at least alone. That's a fact that I'm already going by for if not for about 4 years already. 5, maybe 6. These are all basic facts. This is what I want everybody to understand. And I can't. I can't. When you say keep going, that can also be just hurts physically, you know? But that's what I'm trying to get at here. Honesty was never meant to be um anything easily understood. Well, accepted. Honesty is meant to hurt. Every time you're gonna feel that you want it to change, and you'll be infuriated about it. But even so, you still fall by those fall by that honesty. So that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes bad things in life, or at least negative things in life, can put an impact after. A good impact. I don't know what else to say for this stream because I don't really see anything improving from it. And would I say I'm in a better mood? No. But I'm just gonna have to see where the stream goes. And this might not be the last. This might not be the last stream I do something like this. But I'm just telling you, even as a launch padder, even as somebody who does the weirdest things on channels, I'm still human. I still think 90% of my day. And you guys don't know because you have your own life. And that's totally fine. But I just have things I want to change. I'm sure all of you guys do as well. So that's exactly what I want to see. Exactly. Just keep going. Put energy into it, but you can't do it right away. You just got to know that you're going to do it at some point, and then you will. All right? Perhaps not all the time. But the times that you put dedication in will always work. So anyways, I might as well just log off now because it's been almost 2 hours. And I just hope that this was not pointless, because that'll be almost 2 hours of my life wasted. I hope at least the world has listened even a little bit. And I hope at least I have a say.